Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, we are continuing on with my series of watching the Purge franchise for the first time. I am super excited for this to be my newest series watch, as I am going to be watching the majority of these films for the first time. I have only ever seen one of the Purge films, and that is Election Year, which is the one. So that is going to be the only one that I will be rewatching, which of course is the next one after this. If you did not see my review for the first Purge film, make sure that you go ahead and check that out. Again, big spoiler warning for the entire franchise. I am going to be talking about details of each film. So if you have not seen these, this is your spoiler warning for them. The first one I watched on HBO Max. This one I actually had to rent on Amazon Prime. But yeah, this film, it takes a bit of a different approach, and I feel like this is maybe where the franchise has kind of started to really build itself. Obviously, again, I haven't seen the rest of the films, so I can't really say 100% for sure, but it feels like this is where I talked about in my review for the first film that I was surprised at the fact that it was such a home invasion film, that from what I've seen of the franchise, it seems like the rest of the films really take place during the Purge, and that's what this film does. We end up following a bunch of different individuals who inevitably come together as a group to have to survive out in the Purge, and I have to say, I think I liked this one a bit more than the first. These are very action-packed films, which not really necessarily my general type, but I found myself enjoying it. I can definitely see why people are fans of these films and kind of drawn to it, and I really found myself enthralled in this one. Of course, these films are quite political, which I can also see why they wouldn't necessarily be for everyone, but I don't necessarily mind that in my films or in my horror. It is very interesting. This film came out in 2014, but it opens with a little factual shot stating that it is 2023, and, you know, America's economy is great, and the crime rate is low, and unemployment is low, and all of these things, and just basically trying to state, like, the Purge is working great for America, and as it being at the end of 2022, and us almost coming into 2023, it is very different. It's always weird when you kind of watch these shows, when you watch really any movie where it's set in like a future time, and then you get to that future time and you're like, yeah, it's not like that. But I mean, kind of thank goodness, I guess. Who knows, we could head in that route with everything currently going on. But something that I find very interesting with this film, and I also mentioned in the first one, because the first one has like Ethan Hawke, this film also has some pretty recognizable faces. Not a whole lot, but we have a few. It has Frank Grillo, who I liked seeing him play kind of a good guy. You don't really know at first if he's a good guy, but you kind of start to figure that out. He is in the MCU as a not good guy, and he's also been in a ton of stuff. Also has Zach Gilford, who as well has been in a bunch of stuff. Most recently, he was in Midnight Mass on Netflix, as well as being in the show Good Girls, and there are a few other familiar faces that pop up through the film. So that's very interesting, I think, especially for horror, and it being kind of a newer franchise, to have some pretty familiar faces pop up. So have some pretty already, like, well-known, and maybe they weren't that well-known at the time, but now they are, faces pop up. It was pretty cool. All in all, I enjoyed this film. I thought that it was a really good sequel. Definitely some shocking moments, some sad moments. One thing that I thought was really cool is that they actually bring back the character that is the, again, a homeless guy. They don't give him a name in the film. He's a homeless guy in the first film. He makes an appearance as one of these kind of like rebel characters that is fighting against the Purge, who I'm sure will make even more of an appearance later on in the franchise. Pretty sure they're actually a very big part of the next one, which is election year. So we'll get more into that. But I thought that that was cool that they brought back that actor. And yeah, I'm enjoying the franchise so far, and I'm excited to continue watching these. So let me know what your thoughts are on this franchise just as a whole and this sequel. Let me know which one of the films is your favorite, and I will see you all again later with another video. Bye!